If one day you thought to yourself, I want to buy an Alfa Romeo, you are either a fine motorsportsman looking for a refined sports car or a middle-aged father that wants to buy a fancy sedan for the family. Or, if you want specifically came for this review, you watch too much Top Gear. Anyways, one day the Italian design house IDEA Institute thought, what if we made a family sedan that could handle like a sports car? And then the 155 was born. Over a run-of-the-mill Fiat platform was the iconic space-age look that the Alfa was proud to show to the world, as if it was an insightful comment playing visions of the future. Oh, now you're asking me, what's making this sedan sporty? Well, for one, it comes with adjustable damper configurations. Depending on the version you bought, a turbocharged i4, 3 differential gears, and the full-time EW system for the Lancia Delta Integrale? You know, that one boxy hatchback that won both the drivers and constructor titles 3 times in the Group A Road Rally Championship? The undisputed most successful rally car in history? Yeah, that one, you got it. I hope. You're paying attention, right? The car had 10 engine options during its production. Most of them were inline 4s with different displacements, and the absolute darling that is the V6 Ti, which I'll touch upon later. This car had made its name and fame in smaller touring championships, and with such success, a partnership with Abarth was born to make this Stradale. However, because of the production costing too much for just one unit, meant that it only saw the day of light as a safety car for some time. But now, let's get to the sweet part. Have you ever heard of the Dutch Touringwagen Meisterschaft Championship? In case you don't know, DTM was the biggest, hardest, heavy steel flavored and power-hungry motorsport in Germany. Before it was reformed into the modern Dutch Touringwagen Masters, I'm trying to say that, set to run with Super GT this year, the 155 couldn't be left alone in a corner while the boys were playing with glorious adrenaline. The Italians had something to stain the leather hosing of their German rivals. You remember the V6 Ti I told you about? That's the engine used in the 155 DTM, creating the perfect formula for an all-wheel drive V6 tower of power aerodynamically insane North-Life concrete monstrosity. There isn't joking about this Alfa, not when it was born in the craziest era of motorsport. Many will know this car from Gran Turismo 2 or Tolka Racing Driver, and many paid their respects to this car because they know how it was even in a video game. It even intimidates my co-rider Mr.Ethical by its presence alone. Now allow me to show you how insane it can be. Unless you are unaware of your surroundings as a BMW driver, you have already noticed the 155 box's look. Such was Alfa Romeo's design philosophy as they hopelessly anticipated the year 2000 bug. To simplify, Alfa tried to go for designs that could represent the future in the present. The car is chock full of edges and shapes that are reminiscent of cyberpunk culture and futuristic art, but a bit toned down for the people who don't listen to Wave Racer. Still, there was something ahead of its time. Being both radical and inspiring, something so unique that it made you think the technology of tomorrow came around yesterday. As Alfa is owned by Fiat, you can already guess it shares some similarities with their cars. The front is easily comparable to cars like the Tempra or the Tipo. But the grille has the same eye-catching Alfa badge in a triangle you could find in most of the cars of selling the same time as the 155. The sides are followed by straight lines dividing the car in different shapes and layers, again representing the futuristic choice of design, followed by some of the ugliest OEM wheels I have ever seen in a car, unbalancing its looks. I can't blame the designer still, odd times called for odd wheels. The rear is set up with rear lights that blend so well with its design that just looking at it makes you feel like you're watching Ghost in the Shell. Not only that, but the lines from the side complement each other in the middle, making a single seamless piece of futuristic machinery. The interior, however, doesn't follow such path as it's got a look as any family sedan would have. The panels, wheel and dash are all pretty basic, but it doesn't deny the fact that it's pretty good looking outside. As expected from a car that bears the Lancia Delta AWD system, it's pretty stable around bends and corners, not once losing control or making you feel unsafe in any situation. However, the suspension is too high and too soft, which means it wobbles more due to body roll than Instagram model's butt when her rants do, resulting in the car doing some understeer snaps if you're not careful enough with your acceleration. The brakes are decent and so is the grip, so the only thing we need to do is put the 155 in the gym, pull some weights, lose its fat and become a ninja, strong boy. It wouldn't be forced if it wasn't lacking obvious options for the car, and the 155 is no different. Remember that sweet NAV6 I told you about before? The one that made into DTM and is the fastest engine from the 155? Well, instead of putting that version in, they decided it was better to add the Q4 with the 2-liter turbo inline 4 because Dan Greenwald reasons. That means I've wasted everyone's time jacking off an engine that Turn 10 doesn't like. The silly turbo inline 4 cursed the car with the lack of any speed down the line, where it hardly reaches 235 km an hour on the Mustang straight on Le Mans. Also, the initial acceleration can be quite funky as the car wobbles easily, meaning losing some of its potential initial speed. 40 grand is due probably, but enough talk, let's see how it goes on the track. As I said previously, the 144 uses a NAV6 for its DTM counterpart. I've also mentioned that for some ridiculous reason the in-game car comes with a turbo i4 that's as exciting as any current's new SUV. So how do we achieve what the game had denied us? Well, it is common knowledge that the engine swaps are no stranger to Forza. However, my choice was a reluctant one. What I can confidently say is that it's still an AV6, however, it's the VQ35. Before I'm burned at the stake for using a Nihonjin engine, hear me out for a second. This is the smarter choice available. The trumpeting sound of the VQ35DE isn't an uncommon roar to anyone who's even marginally into car culture. It's a fan favorite for the bold and brash.
Bike belongs in the trash! Ah!
No, let's be serious here, random heart-created fish. The new heart has emulated its passion well with the 155. This high-revving engine carries a great amount of power around corners and straights, with a constant war cry reminiscent of William from Neo, ready to disperse all his ki and die for the 400th time. It has a kick you back to your seat top speed of 325 km an hour on the Mulsanne straight, which can make the likes of Lamborghini and Ferrari quiver with their larger cylinder count. The suspension setup now have racing upgrades for sustained and quick handling. The transmission has also been upgraded for better shifting and top speed. And finally, the weight is reduced to get rid of some boxy fat. Luckily, the car has got both the Stradale and the DTM kits available for choice, except for the fender panels. And the DTM aero kits have adjustable wing angle, which is rare in Forza standards. Sadly, for every turn 10 takes, they take 2 steps back. The parts are modeled with the precision of kindergarten scissors, and you don't even get proper racing wheels to distract you from the mess. So without further ado, let's take a look at how the boxy, lean, mean touring machine handles the cold clutches of Suzuka. So, what do you guys think of the car? Did you like it or did you hate it? Tell me about it in the comments. And thank you for watching this episode of Driving Passion.